What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Plus. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about a potential upcoming Star Wars RTS game. Now, I actually made videos on Star Wars on all three of my channels today. Each one got one video, and I didn't plan it fully like that, but here we are. So this was kicked off by Andy Robinson, obviously a Video Games Chronicle, right, over on Twitter, where he was talking to somebody talking about Empire at War, which in those other two videos on my other two channels, I have talked about Empire at War, and I think it's a phenomenal, one of my favorite Star Wars games, and also just flat out, there's no disputing it, one of the best Star Wars games. And what seems to be happening, right, is we know that Respawn is working on two games, and we actually heard this officially just a few days ago. So one of which is a first-person shooter, and one of which is a strategy game. Now, that one, I believe, is being worked on with another developer as well as Respawn, or maybe even the other developers doing more of like the legwork with it, right? So we had heard that, and that game, we still don't necessarily know what kind of strategy game it's going to be. Some people have speculated maybe more like XCOM-like strategy. But then in this tweet thread or tweet reply, Andy Robinson is talking about how it's not going to take too long to see a big game, the scale of a game by a scale of a developer like Empire at War. That game is coming. And then the response was, oh yeah, is that the game, Respawn's working with? And he said, no, this game isn't announced yet. So this is another one. So I get pretty excited for that, right? Because the potential opens up. So number one, I'm even more interested to seeing that Respawn one, right? Because if the guy he's talking to also is somewhat in the know or, whatever, the game that Respawn is making that's not the first-person shooter, that game can be awesome. I mean, if we could get an XCOM or Marvel's Midnight Suns, which is a fantastic game, it just didn't sell well, right? But if we can get that kind of game for Star Wars, oh my God, that'd be that quality, I suppose, right? Not literally that game. That would be absolutely insane. And then, all right, let me pitch this. If we can get an Empire at War remake, Empire at War 2, or just some sort of spiritual successor to it, that would be insane. Now, people on Reddit had said, can we jump to like the Old Republic maybe instead of obviously what Empire at War is, which is just the age of the George Lucas era, let's say, of Star Wars. Can we do like the Old Republic, right? And just to kind of spice things up a bit, that'd be awesome. That'd be freaking sweet. This kind of news makes me very excited. The future of Star Wars games makes me very excited when you think of, the Jedi franchise would ideally, get a third game to finish that trilogy. You got Star Wars Eclipse, which has like 15 years away, but eventually that's going to come. And, say what you want about David Cage, and I will not necessarily argue any of it, but Quantic Dream, I do believe, is a very, very talented studio. You got the Division-like game, right, that Ubisoft is making at Star Wars. I mean, they may not all hit, but they are certainly going to be multiple kinds of Star Wars games. And again, you got a first-person shooter that could be really, really awesome. And then you have two maybe different kinds of strategy games. Oh, and Amy Hennig is also working not just on the Black Panther Captain America game, but she's also working on a Star Wars game as well. They may not all hit, but they all, I think, have a pretty okay chance of being relatively big. So looking forward to it. I will take literally anything Empire at War or anything Empire at War spiritually related to it. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure you're subscribed, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.